All right, Coach, day before NCAA tournament, you guys are riding a little wave of momentum at this point. Talk about the team. How's the team feel? What's your view on your team right now?
I feel good about the team right now. I think momentum is real, right? I think it's these guys are excited. I think when we won the Big Tens, I think it definitely gave everybody a sense of, we knew we could do it, and we won that weekend against a great team. So we'll just need more of the same. These guys tonight, keep your heart rate down, relax, be grateful. All the things that keep your heart rate down and relax tonight's that night, and then be ready to roll in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And from the Big Tens to now, you guys coming off that high. How do you manage that for this 10-day period between Big Tens and now?
So the Big Ten weekend is emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a tough weekend, huge matchups. So we always give the guys at least 2 to 3 days completely off from us. So I think that an athlete that is mandated to train under a coach, it's more stressful than them just doing their thing, right? So the last 3 days off, and then we went 2 really hard days. Saturday they were off. Sunday we had a good workout on Sunday, and then it's really just feel good. It's kind of keep them primed. So it's been a good 2 weeks. Everyone's healthy. This is as healthy as we've been, and I think the team feels really good. This is a close team. Mm-hmm. This is a close team. They know that they know that they've got to be ready to do their best, or it will have an impact on the team score. So these guys know that. So
you talked about the standard at Ohio State up in the press conference. The standard that you have with an Olympic gold medalist walking around and a couple NCAA champions walking around on the team, and then the guys that aren't even on the team like Stieber that are in there. And how influential is that standard as you get to a championship season? How important is it to have that? Something you guys have in an Olympic gold medalist that no one else has.
I think standard is critical. I think obviously you come into a program, it's the evolution of success, right? There was a time when, hey, let's have a few All-Americans with this team, right? Then it goes to, let's have a few All-Americans. It starts normally, let's have a few qualifiers, right? And then it's, let's have a few All-Americans, and then let's get our first national champion, and then let's get multiple national champions. Then let's get a guy that wins multiple national titles, and then you got a guy that wins 4. And then that summer, you have a guy that wins the Worlds. The following year, you have a guy that wins the Olympics. And expectations are just so high with young people coming in. And I think what it brings is this sense of, if he can do it, then I can do it. And if he can do it, what did he do? So now I don't need to be a leader coming in. I just need to be a really good follower. Mm-hmm. And right now, guys like Colin Moore, are just really good followers. And eventually, the guys he follow will leave, and then he'll be the leader, and others will follow him. So we just got a really good. There's a lot of excellence in the room, and it makes a difference in tight matches.
You guys have 3 NCAA champs on the roster right now, competing this weekend. And they're particularly NATO and Kyle have #1 seeds, targets on their back, big guys. From a perspective standpoint across the brackets, how do you navigate that? I'm sure professionally they're great. They're great about it, but what's the key to them not succumbing to any pressure or anything in this environment?
So all the guys you mentioned, all have a really strong faith, and I faith without action is useless, right? These guys live an incredibly clean life. They work incredibly hard. They're ready for it. Now it's the natural. I'm here, there's not allowing this thought. Well, I'm here, but there's always next year. No, you deal with it now. You've done the work. The preparation was great. Now execute on the work. So, tonight is a night of just be grateful, keep your heart rate down. Don't spill all the dopamine out of your system on the night before. Wait till you're on the mat and actually have to do it. This morning I woke up and I watched Kyle Snyder's final last year. And I watched the Hagler-Hearns fight, and I sent it to the team. And the Hagler-Hearns fight typifies just grit and toughness, and let it go, and don't hold anything back, and just be the aggressor, because that's what's got you here. And Kyle Snyder's mantra right now. Every guy on the team has a mantra, but he shares with the team today in the team meeting. It's don't protect anything. right? What is simple? Just don't protect anything. 3 words, and in the back of your mind, you're getting ready to wrestle. You're not protecting anything. You don't have it yet, so go get it. So we need a lot of don't protect anything.
Absolutely. One guy I did want to talk about was Miles Martin.
Yeah.
He won this last year, as an 11 seed, maybe not expected to do so.
Yeah.
But he comes back, he's moving up a weight. He's in, arguably the toughest weight class at the NCAA tournament, however you want to look at it.
Right.
But how do you view his progression this season? It seems like he's gotten better and better as the year's gone on, and maybe on a similar trajectory as last year, where he's wrestling his best at the end of the year.
Yeah, we feel good about him. Last year, to your point, he had some losses. He had 5 or 6 losses coming in. He was 3rd in the Big Ten, didn't win the Big Ten, but you saw this sense of, all right, why am I thinking I don't belong? Why wouldn't it be me? And at the national tournament, he wrestled a great tournament. Every match, he was mentally engaged, and we've seen that this year. He had a huge win. We had a huge quarterfinal win, at the Big Tens,
right?
Against the reigning national finalist, and then he's got another match that night.
Yeah.
He's got to beat Bo Nickel, who was, just a freight train this year, just smashing everybody. He does a great job with him. I think in the finals, there's a little bit of a letdown. I don't think that he was quite mentally, emotionally ready for that fight like he was the day before. So he just has to be ready. And, he's got this is a guy that would be a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me just to think, oh, it's Miles. Miles is this great talent, which he is. But he is a true sophomore, would be a redshirt freshman. And we just got to remember that he's young, and great things ahead for him.
I would agree. You put 6 in the finals at Big Tens. You said earlier.
Yeah.
You think you need 4 in the finals here.
Yeah.
I know you guys you probably crunched the brackets and a million ways and trying to figure out how you're going to win this thing. What's it going to take for the Buckeyes to win this thing? Belief.
Yeah, belief is critical, right? You got to believe, right? And belief certainly helped 2 weeks ago, right? When you have a leader that's an Olympic champion and 2 other guys in your team that are reigning national champions, that helps belief. So belief certainly. I think that's at this point in time. It's we've got to do some high level point scoring in the first round or 2. When you're up by 7, you got to get by 8. When you're hurting and you're up by 5, you got to dig and try to get up by 8. When you're up by 12, you got to get by 15. When he's on his back, you got to pin him. So bonus points will certainly play a role in this. We're going to hold our ground in the early rounds. And we've got to get to these matchups that define every team that's won the Nationals. It was defined by a few critical wins. And those matches are coming. Hold our ground and be ready for those matchups that are going to define who the 2017 team champion is. And that could be a 33 in the quarterfinals. And that we don't look past anybody. But you look at key matchups, they're going to come. You look at 84, Miles Martin and Brooks. You look at Sorensen and Jordan. Those are matches that, if people hold their ground, those are going to happen. If they don't happen, whoever's in front of you, do your job. But we got to win those ones.
You remember last time you were in this building when the tournament went out?
Yeah.
You looking forward to that feeling?
I am. That was a great moment. After we won, I had a friend, actually it was Billy Baldwin, sent me a text. And I wasn't thinking this at the time, but I lost a son, and he sent me a text that Teague's smile is shining down brightly on you and your program right now. And it was you combine that with 23 years of coaching and a lot of great teams don't win this, right? A lot of great coaches never win this. And to win it was very rewarding on many levels. And when we got here this weekend, our first workout was on the floor, and we reflected on that, putting the hats on, putting the shirts on, holding the trophy up, and raising the expectations of those in Ohio and Buckeye Nation. Now look, we won it 2 years ago, but that was no fluke. We won the Big Ten 2 years ago, we won the Big Ten this year. Start to expect these type of performances from this program.
Last thing, any other words to Buckeye Nation before you guys get out there?
No, we just appreciate, and we appreciate and understand the institution that we're at and the love that people have for this place. The 16,000 that came and the many other that travel with us. We sold over 500 tickets here, come to St. Louis. There's a lot they can do with their money, right? They're choosing to pour it into the lives of the team. So we're just really grateful to be at that place.